Hello friends. So we have been discussing poetic truth according to Aristotle's Poetics. So this is the third and the last lecture on poetic truth. I think that my lectures on imitation you enjoyed and have been very beneficial to you. Hope so? Alright, fine, thank you. Yes. So here we have got already seen what is poetic truth. First concept of or first aspect of poetic truth we have seen, that is permanent possibilities of human nature. That's one. Permanent possibilities of human nature. So we have already given examples for that. So there is no need to further explain that, I think, isn't it? Permanent possibilities of human, that is things which are outside and things which are beyond, phenomenal world, the world of experience. Never happened. Since never happened, never be old. That is permanent possibility means. So it will be first generation, this next generation will be alright, then the coming generation and go on. So that is the idea of writing for posterity. Understand that? Idea of a thing of beauty is a joy forever. That's what the kids said. So the same thing. So these things of beauty, see, these are things of beauty and so they won't die. So eternal truth, philosophical truth, eternal truth, no? That is, you remember when we were discussing lyrical ballads, the professed lyrical ballads, isn't it? Yes. Then we saw now, according to Wordsworth, poetry is eternal truth, because it never grows old. That is the point that you have to see. Second one we saw is the art of fiction. The poet has the privilege of telling lies. The only point is that you should believe it. It should be believable. That's the thing. Put it in sugar-coated lies. Understand? They look like truth, but they are lies. So that is the art of telling lies. The art of fiction or the art of telling lies. That's the third one, isn't it? Lies, telling lies. Or you can say the art of fiction. But at the same time you should see that you may think that it is impossible, but the impossible becomes logically inevitable. The impossible should become logically inevitable. See that? For example, at the beginning of Far from the Madding Crowds, you may think that Bathsheba Everdeen will not marry Gabriel. So they think that's impossible because she is such a lady, a feminist those days we can say. She is a feminist. If you want to call her using today's terminology, we can say she is a feminist. But at the same, Gabriel is a farmer, not seen outside world. Then what happens is, by chance, she meets Sergeant Troy and falls in love with her and all those things. And Troy had another affair, Fanny Robin, and these things we know. But finally what happens is, it happens. What was impossible in the beginning becomes inevitable at the end of the story. Understand? That is the power of telling lies, or you can say an art of fiction. Same thing happens, when you see that Carton and Darnay in A Tale of Two Cities. See that? So you may think that it may not happen, but it happens. So impossible things will become logically inevitable at the end of the story. Carton sacrifices and Darnay escapes. That's the thing. So these are the things that we find always. Alright? Yeah. Now the third aspect of poetic truth is superstitions. Superstitions. Superstition. This you find in every culture you will find. For example, in our area we have a superstition, maybe in your area also. You are suppose you are going to going on it, you just you are taking your first step outside to start the journey, and then suddenly a cat jumps across and considered to be a bad omen. The cat. Why should you blame the cat for that? I don't know. The cat may have seen a prayer, so it must have jumped. There's nothing to do with your journey, but you believe it. So that is, as Aristotle says, so people say. That is the thing. People believe so. Shakespeare, you will find it in plenty. No? You find Macbeth says, witching time of the night. There is witching time. So believe in witchcraft, superstition. And the motivation to kill, to be ambitious exercise, actually the seeds are sown by witches. So belief in superstitions. Gloucester and King Lear believes that the stars that control the destiny of humans. Gloucester, isn't it? Yes. In Hamlet, Horatio gives 3 reasons for the appearance of the ghost. Appearance of ghost. Ghost coming back from the grave. He says that first, it may be some unfinished work. He is asking the ghost, some unfinished. You tell me why. Maybe is it because you have some unfinished work? Is it because you want warners? Second reason, warning. And third reason is that are you attached to some treasure in this world? So that is believed in supernatural. But we don't find that it is supernatural or even what we say superstitious, because it merges with the story. It becomes logically inevitable. Appearance of the ghost is logically inevitable, and the role played by the ghost is logically the same with the Spanish tragedy. Isn't it? The revenge is prompted by a ghost. So people believed in this, and we never think, or we do not even have an iota of doubt that it is something extraneous to play, extraneous to the action of the play. It is part of the action of the play. On first seeing Othello, Barbantia shouts, "Foul thief!" Says, "Foul thief, thou hast enchanted her. Where have you? You have stolen my daughter." Then he says, "Foul thief, you have enchanted her." Enchanting is magic. See that? The appearance of bankers' ghosts at the dinner, at the banquets, so not dinner but banquets, it was kings. There's also belief in superstition that ghosts will come back to take revenge. So it's perfectly alright. Understand? So along with it, comet for example, appearance of comet, supposed to be a bad omen, but in Julius Caesar it is just the opposite. When Julius Caesar is stabbed to death, a comet appears, and then people believe that it is for the divinity to show, it is a testimony of the divinity of Julius Caesar. Connection there. And Julius Caesar himself says, "Ides of Mars," ides to the soothsayer. And the soothsayer said, "I, Caesar, Ides of March has come, but it is not over." And then what do you know what happened at the end of it? So also believe in superstitions like the physiognomy of the person. Physiognomy. For example, says that yon Cassius, lean and hungry look, such men are dangerous. Listen. So if you find somebody in your company lean and hungry, such men are dangerous. Women also are dangerous. But one thing, don't believe in such kind of thing. There are many lean ladies who are very nice and generous. Think of Mother Teresa. She was lean, but she was universally acclaimed as the mother of the poor, the downtrodden, the marginalized. So these things, you don't worry about this kind of thing. So what I am trying to tell you is that superstitions are allowed. Aristotle allows superstitions. Why? Because people say so. People say so. Or we can say it transcends facts. Yes. And another thing is superstitions are eternal. Superstitions never grow old. Another reason why I say that poetic truth is eternal or poetic truth is universal. Again, in our place, I don't know in your place whether you have it or not. If a bottle is broken, there is something terrible is going to happen. Nothing will happen. I'll say that. I have got many instances of bottle breaking and nothing bad happened because of that. So what happens is that people believe like that. What can we do? Okay, let them believe, isn't it? Yeah. So it should not violate the rational world. But there is something that he bans from the realm of fine art. Aristotle bans one thing from the realm of fine art, and that is chance. Chance he banishes, he says. Like Plato wants to banish poets from his ideal republic, Aristotle banishes chance, mere chance, he says. It violates the natural, the world of the rational, as well as it violates. So he vanishes. So with this we come to the end of our discussion on poetic truth, and that is, we have three aspects. First one is that is permanent possibility of human nature. That means it is only possibility underlying, only possibility and not happening. Therefore it is eternal. See, in the first lecture I told you the example of a person who never failed in tennis because he never played. Again he failed. So his status remains eternal, isn't it? A person who never failed because he never played. Like that. Now second one is we have seen this art of telling like this. Everybody does it. Everybody does this. So, art of telling lies. Every writer does this. But it is done in the story of La Belle Dame Sans Mercy. Might never have happened. But you believe it. Make believe. So this. But I will see, and at the end also we saw, that is why I am here. But we know such a thing may not happen at all. Be symbolic. So therefore it is that the such things, you believe it. You have to believe it. It becomes logically inevitable. Understand? Yeah, there is. Another thing is that the third one, as I told you, is superstitions. Again, that is eternal. So poetic truth is eternal. Poetic truth is eternal, one, because it has never happened. Secondly, within the logic of the work of art, it is inevitable to happen. Sequence of events are such that it has to happen. For example, Diamond, Chrysaid, going with the introitus and Chrysaid. We know that she will never return. Because she is a Greek and she finds small opportunistic and she lives. That's all. But the situation is such that this man, Troilus, has to wither away. That's the story. So if he has to wither away, she has to go. That is logical sequence of events. Logical sequence. Third is superstition, never ends. Becomes never over. And so it is eternal. So when you say we are discussing poetic truth is eternal, why? These are the reasons for that. I think we are convinced. No? Aristotle's argument presented by me, I suppose you are convinced, and so we will say goodbye to this topic for the time being. Tomorrow we will take another one. That is the end of fine arts. End means not the end of a film, not that. The purpose. See? That comes again within the causal logic of Aristotle. Aristotle has 4 causes for everything. One is the material cause, second is the efficient cause, third is the formal cause, and fourth is the final cause, teleos. Understand? Final cause. So what is the final cause of fine arts? Example I have already given you somewhere in another lecture of mine. That is, take the example of a table. Material cause is wood, formal cause is the shape, efficient cause is the carpenter, final cause is this use. Understand? So, in our next class, 1 or 2 classes maybe, you will find what is the end of. We know already the ends. What is it? Supreme end of, you can say, any fine art is pleasure. Pleasure. See? Because after all, what is fine art? Fine art always appeals to your senses. Sensual pleasure. Because imitation is image-making faculty of the mind. Art is imitation. And that is because of the image-making faculty of your mind. Therefore, art should naturally appeal to your mind, your senses. So the primary end of fine art is giving pleasure. This is the hedonistic theory of fine arts, which you will see in the next class. Till then, you will say goodbye. I hope that you are enjoying my classes and beneficial to you. Okay? Then you should share your ideas with your fellow students. So,